What up, everybody? I'm your host, JP. This is my co-host, Josh.
Hey everyone. Sorry, that was the reason I'm a little hesitant is because the thing froze for a second. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
But it's okay.
Well, hey everyone.
Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of the FilmBros podcast.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So, another weekend has passed. Okay, another weekend's passed. You know, last week we were talking about how horrendous Guardians of the Galaxy 3 came out swinging in the box office. And I think today we are going to learn to humble ourselves. And that's because the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 has made a comeback on its second week at the box office. Wound up holding a steady 49% drop, which is fantastic for any movie. I think James Gunn came out on Twitter congratulating it, saying that he this is the third movie in the MCU that had a good second week drop, and not a negative one. One of the biggest comebacks in my opinion, because the first week it made a measly 118 million in the domestic box office, up being, I think, about 230 in the whole worldwide box office. Over the weekend, it wound up reaching globally 528.8 million. Domestically, it made about 213 million. Oh, no. Sorry. Domestically, made about 128 million.
Yeah.
Wound up racking in China sales, all that good stuff. Big news for Marvel, especially from coming off of Quantumanium that had a 70% drop on the second weekend, coming off of Multiverse of Madness and Wakanda Forever that had like about a 65 to a 70% drop as well. I think Quantumanium was the worst one with that 79%. I think that was just because obviously, having back-to-back duds is obviously something that, really speaks volumes. But I think word of mouth really shines right now.
Well, I think in Quantumania's case, that one had a lot. That one survived as much as it could. As bad as it was, what do you call it? That one did its best to stay afloat, but I think the month after that, March, was just full of bangers that just would not let up, So it's in defense of Quantumania,
But I think if a Marvel movie was doing good, if I think if word of mouth got around and said, hey, this Marvel movie is actually really good, it's not what we got the few times, the past few movies that we got, I think it would have done well. I think Guardians of the Galaxy is different. I think it's different because word of mouth is saying that this movie is actually good. It's not, apparently there's no politics in it. Apparently it's just another movie, kind of like, another Marvel movie that they used to produce. And a lot of people were talking about this movie like that's exactly what it was going to be. It was just a regular movie because they said this was down the pipeline way before any of the other entries were put in. You know what I mean? That we knew that we're getting Guardians 3. A lot of people said, oh, because James Gunn, wound up getting canceled and booted out, that when he came back, he kind of had a little bit more control over this one. You know what I mean? So a lot of people were hyped for this movie. Now, what put a bad taste in the mouth is I'm assuming Quantumanium and, the other movies that came before it.
Yeah.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy was about to get the butt end of the stick. And I think word of mouth really saved this movie.
Well, yeah, obviously I'm not trying to take away from Guardians' success. I don't know if that's what it sounds like, but no, like really good to see this movie thriving, But if I want to if I want to be that guy, it has no real competition right now. It's at the tail end.
Fair.
It's at the tail end of the month. Our biggest releases are next month, June, right?
Yeah.
So next month, it's Into Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse, Flash. More comic book films that would have probably blown this one out the water. Because I'm expecting Across the Spider-Verse to do numbers.
Mm-hmm.
The Flash is still 50-50 for me. I know some people are hyping it up, some people aren't. I know you're still on the fence, and I see a couple people on Twitter are also on the fence.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows if that one would have been the Titan to knock out the Guardians, you know what I mean? So this one's kind of thriving on its own. It doesn't really have the follow-up.
Spider-Verse will. Spider-Verse will be that one that knocks it out.
Well, yeah, I have no doubt. That one's been in the pipeline for how many years, and like all the trailers are kind of doing it justice. I just think that this one got the month or a few weeks to thrive.
Mm-hmm.
No competition. Quantumania had Creed on its ass a week later or something like that.
No, Creed came out before. John Wick was on its ass.
Oh, well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
That one was just stacked back to back, and John Wick 4 was a fucking juggernaut of a film. And then before that, it was what, Black Panther?
Black Panther.
Black Panther had Avatar, kind of blow it out the water.
Yeah, but it had 2 full solid weeks with no competition.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying is that Black Panther made about 800 million at the end of the box office.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only one that didn't cross that 800 line or even that 500 line was Quantumania. And I think that's where, a lot of people were like, well deserved in my opinion. I think every single now where that range is for a Marvel movie has to be about 800 million to make it look successful. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously 400 million is nothing to sneeze at either. 500 million, it's still a lot of money, but it's not Marvel money, if that makes sense. Marvel went from being 600 to 700 million dollar range movies, I think, in phase 1 and phase 2, and then in phase 3 went up to 900 to a billion. You know what I'm saying? Phase 3, and then phase 4 just dropped back down to 800 million. Who would have known if, maybe if COVID didn't hit, maybe Black Widow would have been, a $1 billion movie only because it was coming off the heels of Endgame. But, because of COVID, we never knew that for sure. But now steadily it looks like after Black Widow, obviously, now that Marvel's been, steadily pumping out movies, even if they're good or bad, 800 million is about the range.
Yeah, I suppose that is the kind of range. It's just weird because, because we're back in that whole thing that we talked about a few pods ago where Marvel has pockets of success, and I was not too long ago saying that this one and Marvel's will make or break the MCU. People are saying the MCU is quote unquote back, you know what I mean? But I think Quantumania was just one of those pockets of unsuccessfulness. Guardians could well put the MCU back on the map. I know people are like, "Oh, this is as peak as it's gonna get," or whatever. Or the MCU is back, and I'm just like, well, we'll see how your tune changes but the Marvels comes back. I'm just gonna say
that's what everybody was saying. Black Widow flopped, and then what was after Black Widow? Thor: Love and Thunder. Or what was after Black Widow? Oh, Multiverse of Madness. Mm-hmm. That one wound up doing numbers, and everybody was like, "Oh, it's great!" And everybody was like, "Marvel's back!" And then Thor: Love and Thunder came out, and everybody was like, "Marvel's not back!" And then Quantumania came out, and everybody's like, "Yeah, no, Marvel's dying." And now Guardians of the Galaxy come back, and it's making a comeback, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, Marvel's back on the map." I still firmly stand by my side, saying that Marvel isn't back yet. I never said Marvel couldn't make a comeback, though. I think Marvel has, honestly, the best chances of keeping the superhero genre thriving if they can make movies how they're making right now, with Guardians of the Galaxy. You know what I mean? The Marvels, that one's up in the air. Reshoots, the Brie Larson stuff in the behind the scenes. The first trailer didn't really make a lot of waves, so I don't know. Right now, that's what I'm saying. Marvel's such at a very inconsistent spot to the point where you really don't know where they're going to go now. And, before you had a clear path where, Marvel was going to fucking go that way. Now we're just who knows if this was just a hiccup? You know what I mean? Who knows if this was just something like, oh yeah, we have nothing better to do. Let's go to the movies this weekend. And then next weekend is a big ass drop. Doesn't even reach the 800 million mark. You know what I mean? It's so uncertain right now that I could positively say that the reason why it made this money this weekend is because of word of mouth. 100%. Oh, yeah. And that's I'm hoping Marvel comes back because I really want Marvel to be good, and I want to be able to go into a movie theater and be like, Marvel's gonna treat me right. But only time will tell right now.
No, because I saw James Gunn comment and to someone that saw it 12 times, and I'm like, 12 times in the theaters?
He paid them.
And I'm like, God, like, there's no fucking way.
He paid them. I'm not watching the Guardians of the Galaxy 12 times.
I plan to drag us to see it at some point. It's just, holy fuck, dude. That is 12 times is a lot for a Guardians movie. I've never even considered seeing a Marvel movie more than twice in a movie theater, let alone 12. I've never loved a Marvel movie that hard. You know, like
I watch it once in the theater and then I'll watch it on repeat at home if it's
oh my god. But good for Guardians. I don't want to take that away from them at the end of the day. Like, good for that movie, good for the people that watched it on its opening, good for its second week. We're kind of at the tail end of the month now, so we'll see how much it rakes up before June 8th when Across the Spider-Verse comes out.
Yeah, we'll see if it hits that 800 million mark. Because once Across the Spider-Verse comes out, I think where Guardians is at is going to stay at that point.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think anybody's going to go out of the way to watch that one over Across the Spider-Verse.
So if you plan on seeing Guardians, do it now before the titan that is Across the Spider-Verse kind of smacks it out the water.
Yeah. But you know what might be getting smacked out the water? That is that new Transformers movie, Rise of the Beast. Transformers is going to come out June 10th or something like that.
Yeah.
Right after Across the Spider-Verse, a week after Across the Spider-Verse. So I want to say like June 15th, I think, something like that. Right after Across the Spider-Verse. No, because June 16th, The Flash comes out. June 8th is when...
You're telling me Transformers is like right dead smack in the middle of both of those?
Yeah, it's right in the middle. It has to be right in the middle. Oh, yeah, June 2nd for Across the Spider-Verse. The Flash is in June 16th. Rise of the Beast is coming out. Oh, my God. It doesn't even say.
Hold on, I'm pulling it up. June 9th.
June 9th. Okay.
It's right after Across the Spider-Verse.
Right after Across the Spider-Verse. So, right now, projections say that this movie's only going to make 61 to 90 million. Now, for reference, I wound up pulling up the other openings for other installments in the Transformers franchise.
Yeah.
The only one that made around that much money was opening weekend was Dark of the Moon. The first Transformers made about 70 million in the first opening weekend. Age of Extinction 100 million. Revenge of the Fallen 108 million.
They don't really do
the
numbers.
Last Night did 44 million, and Bumblebee did 21 million.
Damn, so they never really had like a blockbuster hit, you know?
Well, every single one makes about, I think by the end of it, makes about 400 million. That was the highest it got, was 402 million with Revenge of the Fallen, and it just steadily decreased about 300 million, 200 million, 130 million for the Last Night. Bumblebee only came out with 127 million. So, yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. I'm not saying it's the worst numbers. It's just, you know, it's what it steadily did, I guess you can say. And this one being the lowest one yet, does that say that we're done with Transformers? Do we need any more?
No. I think this is just a circumstance thing. They chose a really bad time to want to drop this movie. Right after Across the Spider-Verse, and then it's not even going to last a week because The Flash comes out, you know, like a week or two after it.
So you think placement?
Yeah. This is like Babylon type shit getting placed right after Avatar 2, you know? This isn't gonna work if because I'm sure there's a demand for this movie, for Transformers movies. I think this is like supposed to be the first of a new trilogy or something like that. So like,
I thought Bumblebee was that.
No, because that one was like them trying to reset the timeline or whatever.
All right, to kind of give you like a good glimpse on how stacked June is. Okay. We got Across the Spider-Verse, Rise of the Beast. We got The Flash right after that. No Hard Feelings with Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, yeah.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Ugh.
I mean, Say what you will. Who knows?
However you feel.
The
on that.
Boogeyman, and a couple other
Ooh.
unknown movies. But that's basically how stacked June is. So maybe it could be bad placement. I want to believe that, but at the same time, the trailers haven't really been doing them a favor either, in my opinion.
Well, no, I can admit that too. Yeah, the trailers have been kind of for this movie. It's the marketing's just been a big problem. I don't think, and it doesn't look as finished, because I think we've pointed out our own mistakes with the trailer, like when
Let them come.
when Optimus Primal like smashes on the water, no one gets wet. You know, their mouths and face look funky. Like
That's one thing, is that these movies, and even with Bumblebee too, I'm not even gonna, like, after the Bay era, you know, the Bayverse, everybody calls it. Even in Bumblebee, like, the transforming and Transformers just look cartoony.
That's because they're going back. They're trying to go back to that Gen 1 look.
But I don't. That's why would we reverse? Michael Bay,
Nostalgia factor.
the transforming, like, that came out in the first Transformers movie is 10 times better than the shit that we're seeing in this trailer. Even in Bumblebee, even though I like Bumblebee, I'm not even shitting on Bumblebee to just be like, oh, I hate Bumblebee, the movie or whatever. No, that movie was actually really good. Haley Steinfeld was in it.
One of John Cena's better performances, I think.
I thought John Cena did a phenomenal job in that movie. Bumblebee is a good movie, but it has that same problem where I was just like, it feels like I'm watching the cartoon version. You know what I mean? The old version that I used to watch as a kid, the 1990s version, like the Transformers and everything, like the transformations.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. Whereas when I saw Michael Bay's, I was like, we're in the fucking future.
Like
with
this is like an event. Type shit.
Like you see like the movements, you see all the moving parts, and you see like things shuffle and everything. But this one just looks like a bunch of metal all over the place. Like it not even like real life metal. It looks like fake metal. That's
like plasticky. It looks too shiny.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Whereas, like, I feel with Michael, even to the last one, the last night, like, all the metal looked really good. I just think maybe it took a dip after the fourth installment. I think it took a little dip, but it wasn't to the point where it was like, oh no, this transformation is so horrendous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I see what you mean. It's just, I don't know what it is. I think this movie it's trying to do its best to play on that nostalgia factor by having like RC in there and all that. And then it's not really working, you know. I think that's what happened with Bumblebee. People like even me, because I love Bumblebee too, you know, like not to shit on it too hard, but like I liked seeing the Gen 1 looks, like Optimus and then Bumblebee being the little car he is, and then Soundwave when he literally has that fucking jukebox in the middle of his fucking chest. Like that's cool, you know.
Very nostalgia like.
Yeah, that's why that's why they kind of went this route of having them be Gen 1 looking. The problem is this one doesn't look anything like Bumblebee. They changed Optimus's appearance. They changed Wheeljack's appearance.
They made Optimus look like the voice actor.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, Peter Cushing.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. See, I saw that. I remember seeing that. Yeah. It's just this movie just doesn't look like how Bumblebee does, and I don't know if that's them. I don't know if that's because they got a bigger budget and they were like, oh, we can now play with things. What are you doing? Why are you raising?
Not to be fucked up. I think he looks ugly now.
Oh yeah, no.
I know that he made him. I seen him when in the trailer they actually showed his face and everything. He just looks like an old man robot now. Like, why'd they do this?
Yeah, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't look the look doesn't work. It's just weird because lose my train of thought.
Sorry, I raised my hand and it distracted him.
It threw me off. I was like, what the fuck is he doing? But it doesn't look anything like Bumblebee, and that's probably because they upped the budget and they were like, oh, we could throw in more Transformers, which is fine, you know, like do what you want. I think that big battle that you see at the end of the trailer where like people were talking about that one shot with RC, that looks fucking cool. But
I didn't think it looked cool.
Oh well, I thought it looked cool.
That shit looked cheeks.
Okay, well I thought it looked cool. So can I finish my thought, please?
Okay, yeah.
that it looks cool, but yeah, no, it does. Everything does just look plastic and not like authentic, like how the Bayverse Transformers looked.
It felt real. It felt like it can actually happen. It felt like Transformers were actually here. You know what I mean? I think the first one, you know, even with like the CGI limitations, like I'm saying, like even the first one, I feel like looks 10 times better than this one. And it feels like CGI is reversing. And it pisses me off because it's like, you remember that scene in the first Transformers when that dude was rollerblading on the freeway and then he crashes through the bus?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
You remember how clean that looked?
Yeah.
You remember how the transformations, when you heard the tires screech because they're halting and then, you know, they just rise up? Like, everything just feels so crisp. I'm crying thinking about it. I watched this trailer and I'm like, what did they do? They butchered my boy. They butchered Optimus Prime. And that is like one of the fucking...
You don't fuck around with the Prime.
You don't fuck around with Prime, bro. Even though... We'll say Revenge of the Fallen kind of did him dirty too, but I think coolest look he had it by the end of the movie for sure.
I just I don't know what it is because this reboot stuff sounded fine in the first half because with Bumblebee because it looked fucking cool. Like I've always said, like I'd want to see a Transformers movie on Cybertron because for me that kind of always felt like the better half of the story. You know what I mean? Like we've seen them fight for Earth so many times. Like I want to see a movie either during the war or pre-war, where the Decepticons and Autobots are like still like together, and you see Megatron and Optimus like are like brothers and stuff. I think there's an animated movie with Netflix coming out that they're doing it, but I want to see that in live action. I think that one's animated, and I want to see that. I want to see that in like live action, but we're not getting that. I know when Bayverse we tapped into it. We've seen bits of Cybertron. And then, you know, I think Bumblebee is probably where we got it most. But I think if they were going to tackle Unicron, which they hinted at the last night, I would have preferred to see it in Bayverse form than what we're looking at now.
I was going to say, in the last night they introduced Unicron, but we're going to see Unicron in 1994?
That's the thing about timelines, bro. I don't know.
That shit's so, like, it's weird. I don't know, man. I just think if the story aspect from Bumblebee, and I think the transformations and everything from the Bayverse, if they would have gotten together and fucked, I think it would have made the perfect movie.
Why do you gotta put that in my head?
You gotta know the reference.
Where's the reference? That's gross. Well, I know the reference.
Okay,
that's just gross. But yeah, no, I think this movie projecting this much is it's bad placement, and I mean the trailers don't make it look too good. I mean, I'm sure we plan on seeing it. I don't know if you do.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna watch this one in theaters.
Really?
I think June is too stacked, and I think one of them has to go. And if I gotta choose which one is going, that's the one.
Okay, good.
You're
not bailing out of Flash.
I was about to say I would rather watch The Flash. If I had to watch two movies in theaters, I'd watch The Flash and The Boogeyman.
Oh. It's going to be across The Flash and The Boogeyman.
Yeah, I know we're going to watch across, but I would just say if there's only two I could pick, it'd be The Boogeyman and The Flash.
Oh, yeah, no. The Boogeyman looks fucking good.
I don't know. What are the two that you would pick?
If
you had to pick.
If I had to pick?
Obviously The Flash.
It would still be Across the Spider-Verse and The Flash.
Oh, okay.
I think those two are my more anticipated of the year.
Yeah, you're not a horror person.
Well, no. But, you know, The Boogeyman does... It looks like it's going to scare the shit out of me because, you know, like it's that supernatural thing that I really enjoy. And, you know, the first trailer we saw together, I was like, God damn, that shit... It made me jump just watching the trailer.
That shit looks scary.
This shit looks really good.
Can't wait. You know what else I can't wait for, though? Alita Battle Angel. I know we talked about it a couple weeks ago, right? We talked about it a couple weeks saying that, you know, that there was talks commencing, but now we're hearing that things are actually starting to roll. That actors are being contacted, agents are being contacted, things are coming up. Now, but here's the catch. Disney CEO, I'm assuming it's Iger, wants James Cameron, not Robert Rodriguez, to helm the second outing.
Oh, fuck.
My man's just too busy for that
Yeah,
shit.
no, he's busy.
Try again later.
Yeah, no.
You had a chance back in 03, man. They're not going to... He can't do it right now.
Yeah, no, you better stick with Robert Rodriguez. He did a good job. To want to switch up is fucking ridiculous. There's, I think it's just
it's ridiculous, but you got to think from a business perspective, and from where I think he's coming from is the success of Way of Water. So who else could the answer be?
Well, yeah, no, I was just about to get to that. Like, I'm sure he saw Way of Water and was like, "Oh yeah, we need him to get it." But where the fuck were you in 2003 when this movie would have probably fucked shit up in the box office? We probably would have been on its third installment.
We'll keep it a buck. With the amount of CGI and everything that was in there in 2003, this movie wouldn't have made it. I'd say that right now. This movie wouldn't have
probably
made it.
Probably would have looked just as bad. But I stand by that. Where the fuck we all when this movie needed production, and then it came out how many years later? So no, I don't. He's busy pushing out Avatar. Let him do that. He's getting. I think Avatar should be his legacy, and just like Robert. What Robert?
Robert Rodriguez?
Let Robert Rodriguez come back and do it again.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, he did a good job with the first one. I can't even say that he did wrong with the first one. But I just think if James Cameron were to come in, use that big brain of his, and have that that mojo to kind of make it look like the way Water did, wow, it'd be good. He knows this character. He's the one who wrote the script, obviously. Maybe he could write the second script, and maybe he can produce. But a full-time director, that takes a lot of time. And, he has Avatar 3, 4, and 5 down the pipeline right now.
Exactly. So there's no way he's...
And I'm not going to put Alita Battle Angel 2 on hold just to get Cameron on there when we saw a phenomenal job with Robert.
Exactly. Like, there's no reason to make that sacrifice. Let him focus on making you hella money with the Avatar franchise. Let that be his last couple of movies because he's getting old. And then just let Robert continue his work. There's no reason to want to put it on hold so long just because we're getting Avatar literally back to back to back, It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
I think... Yeah, I would just say no. Don't do it. Leave him alone. Leave Robert Rodriguez alone. I'm sure the cast already are well adjusted to him. I'm sure everything works out with him. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of a James Cameron Alita movie, and I'm just like, that sounds phenomenal, but at the same time, I really don't want Avatar to be put on hold just for him to do these movies. That's just one thing that I just don't want. So I would, I'm struggling. I'm struggling because I really want to see it, but at the same time, I'm like, no, like, give me more Avatar.
Yeah, no. I think with the first one and being on with the first one giving us a nice Alita, and then the second one being on hold for so long, even after we got a masterpiece like Avatar: Way of Water. Just let Robert continue his work. There's no reason to want to pull James away from the Avatar franchise that he's cooking with currently. So there's no reason for that.
My fingers are crossed that he's the biggest workaholic on earth and he takes on 2 movies at one time.
No, I think that might be a little too much.
You're gonna see the Navi in the back in one of the frames for like a second, and like, oh, my bad.
What the fuck? Get this guy out of here. But I think that would put too much strain on him, especially for someone his age. I think that would kind of pull him apart.
Yeah,
I prefer
it would be a lot, but hopeful thinking. You know what
Avatar, I mean? Let Avatar 3, 4, and 5 be his main focus.
Yeah, and then he can go out saying that Avatar was
exactly.
his baby,
and then let Robert continue his work and let him blow it out the water. I'm sure he can.
Well, you got to think Robert's only the director though, and obviously he deals with the everything else, the cast and all that stuff. But the writing came from James. That script was there since James, back in 2003, and maybe they did some little rewrites and revisits just to update it for the modern times. But
if he writes it, then that's fine. But to full on director it, like it's
gonna be time.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to see Robert Rodriguez to pen this script because we see what happened when he penned the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because he gave us the most badass episode in The Mandalorian Season 2 with Boba Fett. So
ridiculous.
Different writers?
Fumble the bag, man.
Yeah,
Fumble the bag.
We'll have to see, but who isn't fumbling the bag? Apparently Vin Diesel. And that's because now we're hearing he's kind of hinting and maybe making Fast X a 3-parter, making it a
fuck
trilogy.
This fucking guy.
He says one last ride every time, and one last ride turns into 3. So it's like I don't understand. But here's him in Rome at the premiere of Fast X talking about this.
What can you tell us about the future of Dom outside of this saga? What conversations have you guys been having about that?
It's a really good question. As filmmakers, though, you want to allow people to enjoy the film without tipping the hat too much. I can say this. Going into making this movie, the studio had asked if this could be a 2-parter. And after the studio saw this part 1, they said, could you make Fast X, the finale, a trilogy? So,
it's 3X in any story.
Yeah.
So are you guys confirming right now that we're getting a 3rd movie?
Trouble here.
Wait, did that just happen? Wait, where are you guys going? Are you kidding me right now? You guys heard it here first. We may be getting a 3rd movie. I love you, Vin Diesel.
Interesting stuff. Well, okay.
It's Diesel time.
Okay. So, I would be down. I'd be down for a 3rd one.
Shut the fuck up.
I
No,
know-
we're not.
no,
No, we're not.
you
We're not
shut
down.
up.
No, we're not down for this. We're
I'm
not
down.
down. No, we're not down. We're not down for this. Okay,
Well,
let this be the
if
last one, and that's
if
it.
the second part, if the rumors are true, and he's planning to get Robert Downey Jr. in the second half, I'm down for this.
For a 3rd part?
Yeah.
Fucking tired, man. We don't need any more.
Yeah, we do.
We don't need any
By the
more.
way, like,
we
he
seen
looked-
him.
he
We
looked-
seen him
no.
smash 2 helicopters in a trailer.
Hey, how about you leave me alone, all right? By the way, he's supposed to be working out for Riddick. He is not.
No, he did not look in shape at all. That double chin was roaring at me when I seen him. Right now in this clip, that double chin, crazy.
I'm going off like the media we've seen because I've seen a couple interviews where he does look fucking a little skinnier, but yeah, no, he looks like he's not in shape at all.
You can see a belly right here, kind of tiny. He's wearing all black for a reason. He's trying to hide it, knowing damn well all he does is arms probably. But
Yeah.
I don't know. And Michelle Rodriguez hyping this up too. Oh, there's 3 X's in the story. It's like, is there though? We got 1, 2, and then there were like 3 Tokyo Drift, and they were like they took a hiatus, and then Vin Diesel came back and said we're gonna make a few more. 4, 5, 6. 6 closed up the story perfectly. Then they were like, nah, we're gonna do 7. Open the book again. 7 closed the book perfectly. Said now we're gonna do more. 8, 9 didn't even try closing the book. He said that 10 was supposed to be the last one, but 10 was gonna be a 2-parter. I was on board with that. Making it a trilogy now? Bro, what else can you do? Nah, man, I'm good. Give us these last 2 and I'm good. That's it. You know what? I don't wish bad on anything, but I'm hoping the box office does moderate and they don't greenlight a 3rd one. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm going to stop you from going to the movie theater multiple times. I'm going to stop you.
No, you're not. No. I don't know. Okay, yeah, because 3 is excessive. I was joking. A 2-parter sounds perfect for this movie to end correctly. But if the money talks and a 3rd one rises, I don't think I'd have a problem with that.
I guess you can say if they make a 3rd one, I'm still going to go watch it. I'm not going to lie. I will go watch it. But I don't want it. That's something like, it's kind of like, when you're at your grandma's house and all she's doing is feeding you and she's just keep giving you plates and you're just like, no, grandma, I'm full. And they're like, no, mijo, you're going to eat. And I'm just like, grandma, I said I'm full. She's like, you're going to eat in Vin Diesel's voice. You're going to eat. I'm good. I don't know. I don't think we need a trilogy though. I think we've had enough trilogies from this saga. We've heard the line "one last ride" about 6 times already. I'm ready for it to be the last ride and we can get off. I'm ready. It's over. We tried to do spin-offs with Hobbs and Shaw. Didn't pan out as well as they would have hoped. which is fine. It's not a big deal. I'm not tripping about it. I think Hobbs and Shaw was, doing something and it had something there. But at this point, we're dragging it on. And I know Fast X is a juggernaut. I know Fast and the Furious is a juggernaut franchise at this point, and it's going to make numbers regardless. But at this point, we need to know when enough's enough, Vin. Enough's enough, Vin. Go focus on Furia. Go focus on Riddick. Go do something else. If you're doing a third trilogy movie, a third Fast and the Furious movie, how are you going to do Riddick?
That is a good question. Damn. Comes out this month?
Yeah.
Comes out Friday.
Oh, yeah, this Friday, yeah.
Damn.
We got to go watch that.
We are going to go watch that. But before, we should probably rank them before that.
Ooh. Damn, we already did Saturdays. But maybe we could do it, we'll do a special for you guys.
Yeah.
We could do a special.
We'll put it out maybe 2 and 1 on Saturday or something. But
yeah, we'll do a special.
Yeah. But before we go see this movie, this is Thursday's episode. By the time you hear this, we'll have it planned out and whatnot. But yeah, no. Are you guys excited for this? Are you guys gonna want a 3-parter Fast X movie?
Yeah. I think Tokyo Drift had the best soundtrack.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Hands down.
Enough. Tokyo Drift, and then I think
Fast 5.
I want to say.
Or Fast 6.
No, yeah, Fast 5. No, Fast 7. I think Fast 7 had a good soundtrack.
It had See You Again on there. And that one
Oh no, I think as much as I give the movie shit, I think Fast and Furious 8 had a good soundtrack.
I really don't. Honestly, 8 and 9 I don't remember. I gotta rewatch those, but I really don't like. There was a scene that I see. I told you like on Twitter, everybody's like, "Oh, what's the movie that made you
check out?"
Basically, There was a scene, and I'm assuming it's an 8, where Dom is flying a plane, and is going towards a satellite, and then he goes, "I live for this shit," and then like he runs all the way out the back of the plane before they collide, and you just see him float all the way out the airplane.
I don't remember.
I don't remember that either.
What the
fuck? Too many movies. Let us know out there if you guys want an extra fast movie. I mean, I'm sure everybody's kind of tired of it. I don't know who's fiending for this much Vin Diesel, but go watch Guardians 3. But you know who's not fiending for a reboot or honestly any type of change in their movie whatsoever is Michael J. Fox. Say no to a Back to the Future reboot. He was talking to Variety, and when the question came up saying, hey, would you be up for a reboot? What if they're thinking about doing a reboot to Back to the Future? And he says that if they do it, that he's at peace with the decision, saying, I'm not fanatical. Do what you want. It's your movie. I got paid already, he says. He also says that Robert Zemeckis, the trilogy's director, said he wouldn't be down for it. He says, I don't think there needs to be a reboot. I think Bob and Bob have been really smart about that. I don't think it needs rebooting because are you going to clarify something? Are you going to find a better way to tell the story? I doubt it. Goes on to say that he did all 3 parts, saying that the director said that 3 episodes is enough, or 3 movies. He says, I'm sure somebody thought about it after part 3, but at that point, he was already in the early stages of Parkinson's. So he says that he didn't know what he would have done. And after part 3, that there was conversations, but he never got involved. But Christopher Lloyd is very into coming back for a reboot. I'm sorry, Michael J. Fox. I just gotta say that right now. Parkinson's is a bad disease. I didn't know he was battling it all the way since after part 3, because part 3 came out like 99 or something. So he's been battling with this for like a long time. In the 90s, not 99, somewhere in the 90s. So I just gotta say that first. Parkinson's is a terrible disease, and I've seen how he's been handling it, and he's been doing a good job. It's just, it gets worse over time, and it's just not a good thing. With that being said, I think he's right. I don't think we need a reboot. I don't think that we need Back to the Future. I think it's done well, and I think it's a timeless classic that doesn't need a retelling.
It doesn't need to be touched. I would assume Disney would have cashed in on this motherfucker a long time ago, though. Because I mean, Fox owns it, and now Disney owns Fox. I figured after they acquired them, you would have heard something through the pipeline trying to, do it all. But this movie doesn't need it. I feel like you could show this to anybody, and they'd be like, "Yeah, no, this is great."
Mm-hmm.
Like even if because they have a remastered version, right? Where they update the CGI and stuff. So like that does well enough on its own, It's too classic. I don't think it does need a reboot. No.
I think obviously it won't hold up to today's standards, but I think the movie holds up for how do you say? I would say it could do good if they did it like how they did with the Ghostbusters, and you know what I mean, completely change the characters of the franchise. Pay a little bit of homage, but basically go a different direction. I think it could work something like that. But
if it was a legacy sequel,
yeah, but I wouldn't say reboot it and tell the story again.
Yeah, no.
I think that would just be ridiculous.
I think if somewhere along the line and they were like it's in the future or whatever, and then maybe Marty's kids or something gets involved or whatnot. I don't know. That's like the best thing I could think of, but I don't know. That it would be kind of, not saying I would want it, but if I had ideas, it would be very limited because you can't retell this story. It's too classic. There's no way.
I wouldn't even be able to how usually you can probably imagine how things can go.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine it because I'm just like, Back to the Future is what it is. You know what I mean? Like I would have. Same thing with The Matrix. I would have said The Matrix could have been left alone. You know what I mean? Like the trilogy was fine the way it was, but they go and ruin it with the fourth part, and that's just something I don't think that Michael J. Fox obviously doesn't want. Obviously, because it's I think Back to the Future is like his baby.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that he always talks about and really loves. So
yeah,
reboot. I wouldn't say a reboot.
Yeah, no, it'd be cheap. I think it'd be a cheap way out. I think in a world of reboots and retellings, like every movie kind of either gets the chopping block and it doesn't do well as its predecessor, or it just doesn't usually live up to the hype.
Either too similar or too different.
Exactly. And because if you go too, like I always say, if you go too different, you scare people, and if you go too similar, you're basically just retouching up the movie. So Back to the Future is in good hands. Hopefully this isn't speaking into the universe, and somewhere down the pipeline they just let's do a fourth one or a sequel or whatever, a legacy sequel. But I hope they don't touch this franchise because timeless.
Too timeless, and you said it best. What else can we say? Like I said, very bad case for Michael J. Fox, but it's good that he's standing his ground and doesn't want to fold, not even for a cameo.
Exactly. It doesn't make no sense. He's doing well off on his own, and the dude who plays Doc, he was just in Star Wars, so I don't think he's begging for a job anytime soon.
He was just in there with Lizzo and Jack Black, so it is what it is. But talking to THR, we got the Hollywood Reporter. We got an inside look from reliable sources on contenders who could potentially be playing in Superman Legacy. Now, the casting for Superman is an extensive list. Apparently, nothing has been really narrowed down. There's names in there, but I really don't want to put out names because it could be, it couldn't be. I think one person that I can talk about, and they kind of asked her on The View this morning, at the time of recording this, that it could be potentially Rachel Boznahan, who played in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Apparently, she is one of the top contenders for Lois Lane, saying that she gave a phenomenal audition tape. Okay, according to the sources. We also heard that though there is a list of Lex Luthor's. We heard that Bradley Cooper at one point was in the running, but he turned it down. We heard that they were thinking about maybe race swapping Lex Luthor. Now, what it sounds like ultimately is that we're coming down to Nicholas Hoult to play Lex Luthor. And what do you think about that? You know who Nicholas Hoult is?
No.
He's the dude that played in Renfield next to Nicolas Cage.
He's that guy?
He even played Beast in X-Men, the X-Men Days of Futures Past. He also came out in The Menu as of recently with Anna Taylor-Joy.
No. Even with the brainiac side of the Beast, no. I could not. Hell, I could not picture the dude you said before him. Fucking
Bradley Cooper?
Bradley Cooper. Hell no. I could not. I don't know what it is about Bradley Cooper, but he's the one in Hangover, right? I'm not sure about that. Yeah. No. Ever since
he plays Rocket.
Yeah. Ever since I seen him in The Hangover, I can't take him seriously, even if he is a CGI raccoon.
Really?
Because I've seen him in Silver Linings Playbook. He does good in that one. But again, all I really
didn't like it because of Jennifer
All
Lawrence.
I really picture, all I really picture is him from The Hangover.
What about what's that movie where he takes the pill?
Oh, Limitless.
What about that one?
He did pretty good in that one.
I would say based off that performance, I would have said he would have made a decent Lex Luthor.
I don't know, man. I couldn't picture it. Maybe it's me, and I couldn't picture him bald.
Maybe it's me in this economy, but
No.
I mean, but Nicholas Hoult as a runner-up. I mean, it sounds like they've been trying to make Nicholas Hoult a name for a while.
It's just not sticking.
It's not sticking, and I think it's because of the roles that he takes. Like Renfield, like why would you come off hot off the Menu? Now a lot of people liked The Menu. I like the way he played. I think he's a great actor. I just think he's kind of like, I don't know, he's not the go-to person apparently. That's what it seems like. But I think
always
he's
like
great.
the runner-up.
Yeah, he's usually like the runner-up, and either he gets it or he gets some goofy-ass role. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I would have thought, I mean, I wouldn't. That's one thing I don't like. I don't like when an actor takes a character and then they become super humongo famous off of it. You know what I mean? I would rather them be famous and then come into the role. You know what I mean? Because then you don't feel like you like this person. You feel like you like the character that he's playing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So Nicholas Hoult, I like him. I liked him in The Menu. I liked him playing Beast and everything. But he's not at the point of stardom to play in a movie like that. And some people are like, oh, well, James Gunn and WBD can't afford real high-earned actors because of the way that they're sitting right now with their, the way their bank account's set up and their checkings and savings and shit. I don't know. Apparently, they don't have money for actors, and that's what word around town is going.
I don't think that's it at all. I think they're trying to choose people who are lesser known and whatnot. Not because it's cheaper, but because they're young. They're young in their career, and this can help build them up and give them a career. At which case, they will be earning RDJ money for Avengers level, pay. But I don't think it's because they're broke. I think it's because they're trying to be smart and pay for less. That way they can build them up, and then when they start rolling,
their money rises when the box office rises.
Exactly. And not to sound fucked up, but if you have a lesser known actor and your movie flops, they can kind of recover from that.
They can blame it on the actor.
Yeah,
but then the actor won't find any work.
Well, no, I mean like the actor can kind of come back from that.
Oh,
they haven't. I think so.
Not when you're new. No,
I think so.
No,
but
not when you're new.
I could not see any of those two being Lex Luthor. And then race swapping Lex Luthor sounds bad. Because that's what they did with Supergirl and his sister. And I was like, well, this fucking sucks. And then they introduced Lex Luthor in later seasons. And you're just like, where the fuck was he at the whole time? Actually, fuck. What was his name? It was the dude from 2.5 Men who was Lex Luthor in that show. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah. I seen this.
Not Charlie Sheen, but the other guy.
Yeah. I think it was. I seen the clip where he showed up in Smallville. Yeah. With the actor who played Superman in
Smallville.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was neat. I seen the little clip.
Yeah,
it was good.
That was from the crossover.
The crossover event.
Yeah,
right?
the Infinite Crisis or whatever. He was a fine Lex Luthor for a TV Lex Luthor. He wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But I think with TV Lex Luthors, the one who cemented it was the one from Smallville. I think he has like he's probably in my top 3 Lex Luthor performances.
Yeah, I thought it was a badass, but I didn't want to say that because I don't know if that's like nostalgia factor or something. But
no, because I think his performance holds up well over. Because I think he's better than the OG. If I'm being for real, and then I think my other 2 contenders is Jesse, and then the one from Superman Returns.
Got you.
But I couldn't see any of those 2 being Lex Luthor. Jesus.
Yeah, contenders. I don't know if Nicholas Hoult is the one, if he's the guy, but according to insiders, he's very close. I guess we'll have to. Obviously, it's something that's gonna come out soon. Let's be honest here. This casting is gonna come out soon. It's going to leak one way or another. Either James Gunn's going to be on top of it and let everybody know. I know he went on some tangent on Twitter saying that he would never give out, names of who's auditioning because of this article that came out. A lot of people were speculating on who it could possibly be.
But once he lands a name, I'm sure it'll roll out.
Oh, yeah. It's either going to leak or he's going to get ahead of it and tweet it out, or he's going to hopefully he doesn't make a final decision and keeps people baffling until Comic-Con.
Probably. Sounds more likely than that, because eventually he'll want to make a big thing and be like, my new Superman is this and that, and people will react how they react. Me, I wait for that day. Just so I can be like, what the fuck, bro?
Get ready to get shit on, James Gunn. Moving on, though, we do... I don't know if this is worrisome or anything, because I can literally remember talking to you about this and them beginning filming. But Hellboy the Crooked Man has wrapped filming, and this is coming from Mike Mignola, the writer of Hellboy, the creator, going to Instagram and saying, so we wrapped principal photography on the new Hellboy movie. I wasn't on set for this one, but they have been nice enough to send me dailies, and I have to say I have loved what I've been seeing. If fans have been waiting for a Hellboy film that is actually an adaptation of one of the stories, I think they are finally going to get one. Congratulations to director Brian Taylor and the really wonderful cast, and to co-writer Chris Golden, who did so much to figure out how to give the studio what they wanted and still keep true to the heart and soul of the Crooked Man, my favorite of the Hellboy stories. I wish Richard Corbin was still around to see this. They did a wonderful job bringing his really horrific character to life. I swear we just talked about them starting to film. Seems too soon. Seems hella quick in my opinion.
Because it's been a few months now.
It's been a couple months.
That is crazy. Well, if it's not a big film, if it's not a big budget or whatever.
I'm sure after what happened with, who was it? Who played him last?
David Arbor.
Oh yeah, with the one what happened with David Arbor, I'm sure they gave him kind of a smaller budget.
Yeah, so smaller budget, and if they are moving practically like how they did with like they did with the first guy, what's his name?
Ron Perlman.
What they did with Ron Perlman, where he does like more authentic and stuff, then I'd be down for that. A more grounded Hellboy story is kind of what we need, because while the ones with Ron Perlman were kind of grounded, they did get big scale in the second one, and then the one with David Arbor, that one was just huge. They did huge shit in that one.
That one was crazy.
They were like, oh yeah, we're doing a civil investigation, and then hell started walking on Earth, and it was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So like I think a simple detective like Hellboy movie is kind of what we need.
Yeah, I haven't even
to
watched.
set the ground rules for if this movie ends up being a trilogy or not.
Yeah, because I'll keep it a bug. I haven't even watched the whole
if it's
David Arbor one.
If it's an anthology series and they do movies like that, I'd be down for that. Like, just tell different stories, but like movie style. Just adapt the comics.
That'd be cool, and maybe that would be a way to kind of keep this character around and keep him a prominent name, because Hellboy has been struggling. I know with the first two with Ron Perlman, I don't think the second one did numbers. The first one did really good numbers. Second one did not. And then obviously David Arbor's did not either. So I'm hoping that these trailers, and I mean, it's an unknown cast. It's not really like, a lot of big names behind this one. So hopefully it gives it that momentum, and they give them like a good spot to chill at. A good spot. Don't put them like how they did with June right now and stacked up all these juggernaut movies. But give them like a March or like a February opening.
Yeah, somewhere where a small movie like this can thrive and give you the budget for the next one, because we know now we've known for a while that while this is a comic book movie character, since it is kind of low budget and not many people know that it exists yet. Even though we're kind of covering it, we've been covering it for months. Check out those other episodes.
Self-plug.
That this movie can easily be squashed by a juggernaut of a film, and I don't want that for it. If we're getting a very comic accurate Hellboy, it should be allowed to thrive, especially for those niche Hellboy fans, because I think there's only like 5 of them. No, I'm kidding. That was a joke. I'm joking.
Yeah, no. Honestly, I mean, I don't see a lot of people that say they're Hellboy fans. I love the movies. I don't think I've actually read one of their comics, but
he's been, because he has good comic books and he makes small appearances here and there. But like, I think after the way David Arbor's movie did him, people are just so afraid to like even consider him being a household name. You know what I mean? Because he shows up in Injustice 2 and you're like, oh shit, he was a DLC character in that. And that's fucking cool. But like, his movie fucking sucked. Like, his last movie fucking sucked. So like, people are just probably afraid to like consider that. But I think Hellboy fans who have been kind of laying low, like reading the comics and like enjoying those small appearances and the Ron Perlman movies, will probably be excited for this one, since it is kind of being backed by the writer and whatnot. Hopefully this one gets to where it needs to be and we see it thrive.
Yeah, having the writer on board really gives me a little bit more peace of mind. Like I said, it seemed a little rushed, but I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, and we'll see what happens when it comes out. I'm excited for another Hellboy movie. The last one didn't do it for me, so I'm hoping this one does it for me, and I hope this is the one that punches that ticket for a franchise. You know what I mean? But you know who says they're out of the franchise business altogether, or at least for Star Wars, is Freddie Prinze Jr., coming off of Christian Harloff's podcast, basically saying that he's done playing Kanan in Star Wars. And I'll show you the clip so you can watch it.
Star Wars, I got to ask you before we get into this other stuff too. You did do stuff with Bad Batch in the beginning, that first season.
I was asked to, yeah. I didn't necessarily want to. I feel like every time you hear Kanan's voice since Rebels ended, it really kind of dilutes his impact on
episode 9 included.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that either.
Yeah.
I was asked as a favor, and I feel like all their favors are used up now.
Fair. So no Ahsoka.
No Ahsoka. I'm done with Kanan. I'm too old for that stuff.
Fair.
Dilutes it.
As soon as I heard this, I'm hoping this isn't the case, because we don't need another one like that. But this sounds like a case of Liam Neeson. Oh, I'll never be in a TV show. Oh, I'll never lend my voice because, Qui-Gon is an icon and he deserves to be in a movie. Psych, I'm going to voice him in the Clone Wars. Psych, I'm going to be in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Psych, I'm going to be in Rebels. Psych, I'm going to be in Episode 9. Psych, do you know what I mean? I understand, and I get where he's coming from. Dilutes it. I would say it dilutes it if they brought him back, or if they did flashbacks, or
exactly,
they did a bunch of stuff. If they, you know what I mean? Him being shown in the Bad Batch, I don't think that dilutes it. I will say it was freaky to hear his voice in a tiny Kanan Jarrus. I was assuming we were gonna get like a kid version.
Teenage Jarrus.
No, we just got full on Freddie Prinze Jr. as his voice, and I was like, that's a little too deep for a teenager. And then, in Episode 9, and I think the worst part is when the way he says is like, I didn't want to do that either. Dude, in Episode 9, it makes the most sense. And you didn't want to do that. It makes the most sense because you already lived on you're in the living force and you helped Rey.
Exactly.
You don't feel like that and I'm not saying it dilutes it. I think it probably picks it up a little bit.
Exactly. That doesn't make any sense. Being one of those people. See, this is one of those dudes because I see him in his other clips float around TikTok, and I'm just like, he's the same guy who's like, oh, this is how the Force works, this and that. You seen those clips?
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, George Lucas said that this story is supposed to be like this, and this is why, and whatever, like whatever George does is golden and stuff like that. And I get that. He's very loyal. But yeah, some of it comes off as like,
pretentious.
I know Star Wars. I know Star Wars. You don't know Star Wars.
It comes out pretentious, and you're just like, dog, like, unless you're actually George Lucas or Filoni or Favreau, I don't think you have any merits in the in what happens in Star Wars and stuff. Only as far as your character is concerned. But since you're dead, and everything you do thinks he dilutes it, even though I think that's kind of bullshit. I'm fine with him not coming back to Star Wars then at that point. I'm just like, okay, you gave us our 2 cents. If I'm sure a fat paycheck will change his fucking tune, but until then, like, oh shit, he can go away. I don't give a fuck about it for real.
And it sucks because I do like Kanan Jarrus. I think he's one of the highlights of Rebels for me. I really loved his arc in that show. Seeing the way he went out was crazy. Very sad. I think, yeah, he's right. It was an impactful moment in the show because I could still remember, his eyes coming back, all that stuff. Like, spoilers for Rebels, sorry guys, but it comes to that point where and yeah, I've seen his clips and I knew exactly what you were talking about because I was gonna bring that up too. I feel like he's one of those offenders where Liam Neeson did the same thing. Mark Hamill, he'll do that where he's like, oh yeah, this is the way that you're supposed to do it. Oh yeah, this is the way you should flick your wrist, whatever, as a Force or whatever. Like, he's very technical. I get that from him. I get that, but he's not like, oh, I'm never coming back to Star Wars. If you ask me, I'm not gonna come back to Star Wars. No, like, he's always happy to come back.
Exactly.
Lend his voice, share with others in Star Wars, and it just seems like he's gatekeeping. It sounds like Freddie Prinze Jr. is gatekeeping Star Wars.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's ridiculous because Star Wars is for everybody,
especially from a voice acting perspective. You know what I mean? Because I have not seen him at Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah, he goes.
He goes?
Yeah.
I have not seen him. I haven't seen him on a panel.
I don't think he went last year in the 2023, but he was there in 2022, and I think he was there in 2019 before COVID.
Oh, well, I don't know because I haven't seen any panel with him. I see Obi-Wan. I see both Ahsokas. I see, their counterparts from live action to him, but I've never seen him on a panel ever.
Fun fact, if you didn't know, Freddie Prinze Jr. is married to Daphne from the original Scooby-Doo.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, Fred and Velma actually got married.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, not Velma, Daphne.
You said Daphne, yeah.
Fred and Daphne.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know. To me, he doesn't sound bitter like Liam Neeson does. Who is probably because he's older and things like that. And if anyone should have gotten a movie or spinoff, it should have been him. Mm-hmm. He probably feels. But he just sounds bitter and a gatekeep, and I'm not vibing. I don't vibe with that. Like, as much as I say I gatekeep things, I'm always willing to talk to people about what I like and be like, hey, if you ever want to check out Star Wars, watch this, and this, rather than be like, oh yeah, you can watch the first 6 and then, don't even like ignore those 3 or whatever. Like, no, if you're going to consume Star Wars, consume it fully, and then all your questions will be answered later. Don't just be like, oh, the Force is this, and that. Like, no, that doesn't make much sense. I don't really vibe with his takes half the time.
I will say he does sound very interested in Star Wars, and I think he does give detailed explanations when it comes to his take on Star Wars. And I can't say they're bad takes, and I can't say they're the best takes, but I do think that his heart is into Star Wars. It's just when it gets to that point where he's like, yeah, I'm done with favors. Yeah, I'm done with this and that or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But then we see you. That's just my thing. You're saying this now. I better not see you in another Star Wars media. That's just me. I better not see you in anywhere because
exactly.
I hate when Liam Neeson did that. And like I said, you see him in the Clone Wars. Or you hear him in the Clone Wars. You see him in Obi-Wan. You hear him in Rebels. You know what I mean? You heard him in Episode 9. It's like, my guy, if you talk shit about Star Wars so bad and Qui-Gon should be nothing but special events, then do that. why are you saying that you're not going to do it and then you wind up doing it? I get it. You're trying to play the field and be like, you know, secretive about it and, you know, let people, you know, speculate or whatever. But it's like, it's not like a no. It's more like a no. You know what I mean? I'm not there. I'm not there. And then you show up. It's like, dude.
It's like, because as much as I give him shit, Han Solo, Harrison Ford, like, you know what I mean? Like he'll do.
He's somebody that I thought he should have never came back to Star Wars, and that's just me because of the way he talks shit about it.
Well, there you go. See, so like when he says he's not coming back, I believe that shit. I think 9 was the last time we'll see him, and like he talks shit about it so much, and you're just like, okay, yeah, I believe that. But I think even if they offered him money, he'd still be like, no.
Well, here's what I thought. I thought he was a douchebag for it. Is that I thought in episode 7. Spoilers for The Force Awakens. In episode 7, when he wound up biting the dust, I assumed that was his ticket out, right? I thought all that shit talking paid off. He finally got what he wanted. He got killed off. He's good. But no, he shows up in episode 9.
Yeah.
So you don't hate it that much. You only hate it when the money don't talk.
Exactly.
But when the money talks, I'll put my blaster back on, I guess. No, dude, no. Like, just...
If you're out, don't accept the cash.
Don't pussyfoot, bro.
Exactly.
Either be in there or be out. Be in or be out.
That's why I believe firmly Han Solo won't be coming back, like, ever, unless it's played by the dude from Solo, as a younger version. But, like, if Kanan really means... If the dude of Freddy vs. Jr. really means it, then we just won't see you again. That's fine. I can live with that, I think. But we know that's not the case. Like, watch him show up in Ahsoka. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he says no to Ahsoka, but we'll have to wait and see.
We'll end up hearing his voice. Watch.
Yeah, man.
Just like those set photos where Maul was apparently leaked or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure we'll see something.
We'll have to wait and see. So, Josh, for our last topic, this is a special one, and I waited all day for this. Can you guess?
Is it James Gunn stuff?
No.
Okay.
No. I don't want to ruin the episode with that one.
Okay, then what?
I think that's why I got James Gunn out of the way in the beginning.
Okay.
But it's the season 2 trailer for The Bear.
Oh shit! I didn't even know this came out.
Oh, thank God! I was so scared. I was gonna text you not to look, but good thing that you suck at social media and you don't see this shit.
Oh no! I didn't see this.
Season 2 trailer. It's a 2-minute trailer. I thought we would react to it together.
Oh, I'm tearing up. I did not see this.
You ready?
I was on... Well, okay. Well, I wasn't on Twitter as much as I thought I was then, because I did not hear a peep from this. That's how you know the show is so underrated. Go check out The Bear. You play it. Play it.
Okay, ready?
This is coming from a place of wanting to start fresh and clean.
This is going to be a destination spot.
We drafted a quick term sheet.
We need more money.
Will you turn that thing off, please? How's that not making you insane?
I don't mind it. It's a facelift, it's not a gut.
Bear, it is a facelift and a gut.
It's gonna take 6 months to open.
6 months?
That's being...
What, confident?
Cocky. Crazy.
Still thinking Chaos Menu?
Yeah, chaos menu, but thoughtful. Ugh, gross. We need like a reset. I'm trying to start from a place of positivity.
Clock is ticking.
We're gonna be sending you to culinary school.
A hell of a lot of Sydneys in here.
Don't look him in the eyes.
Ideally, we need 5 days on.
Yeah, I just can't do Fridays or Saturdays.
When can I talk to the chef?
You are.
Oh.
Oh! Don't freak out and go calling for Mom. Mom! I'm gonna call Mom. She can't hear you.
That's my love.
I'm the supervisor.
Supervisor what?
I need a chance, a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance, a world to see.
You got this, baby.
Yes, chef.
So how's your life been, Brazado?
No.
Opening a restaurant. Gotta go hard every day. Gotta control the zone.
I love the name.
You don't remember the name.
Of course I remember the name.
We didn't even tell anybody
You
the name.
100% told me the name.
How could you remember the name? Your shirt says original birth.
Yeah, it's a pretty mistake.
Collector's item.
All episodes?
Yeah.
They're dropping it all at once. Oh, thank God.
That looks so good.
Oh, my goodness. That did look really good. I'm tearing up. Oh, that was nice. I don't watch I watch a lot of shows, and this is the only one to affect me very deeply. Oh, man, that looked so good. So they're not opening that. Okay, good. Because I thought they were going to time jump, and the restaurant was already going to be. Spoilers for the bear. But I thought they were going to time jump and just open the restaurant immediately. But it seems like they're taking the season to build up to that. And then, you know, if
it looked like they were going to be cooking from home at one point.
Yeah. And if season 3 is where they pick up the restaurant and stuff, then great. But it's nice to know that they're not time jumping or nothing like that.
No, I seen because you've seen them in actual like uniform and stuff. So I'm assuming that maybe by mid episode or maybe the last 2 episodes, the thing is gonna actually be built for sure.
Good, man. Man.
It looks phenomenal. I didn't know about the show. Josh over here actually put me on the show.
It's such a good show.
Honestly, it's a great show. I seen the first season. That shit made me cry. It's actually really good. I can't even say that it's bad. I thought it was gonna be bad because of all the cooking. That was my mistake. It has the actor from Shameless. I didn't even know he was in Shameless until you told me about it, Josh. It looks good, man. Season 2, and I avoided this trailer all day. I really wanted to watch it. It's just so I can be like, oh, I know this and that. But I was just like, no, this is on special. I'm gonna wait for you.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, I didn't know this dropped. That's awesome. I'm excited for sure.
Very good day for you.
Very good day. Way to end on a note. That's fucking amazing.
All right. But that's everything we have today. If you guys want to see that trailer, it is on YouTube. If you guys haven't seen The Bear yet, go watch the first season. We might be doing a whole season review on it, and honestly, we'll break it down and we'll talk about it. If you guys want to talk about it with us, let us know. If there's anything on this episode that we may have forgotten, anything that we should have talked about, something that we didn't bring up, a movie you guys want us to review, a TV show you guys want us to review, anything that you guys want us to react to, Josh, let them know where they can let us know.
Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at FilmBros Podcast. We post when new episodes are up, and you can engage with us there. If you want to listen to us on the go, Spotify and Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you get your podcasts, we're on a couple more sites that I'm not going to run down. But at FilmBros Podcast, just go take a look at your apps. If you want to support us, Buzzsprout, our things are that is in all our social media bios. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to. It would really help us out in production and whatnot for the podcast that you guys enjoy so much. And at the end of it all, go subscribe to our YouTube at FilmBros Podcast.
Yeah. And with that being said, we'll talk to you guys on the next one.
Talk to you guys later.